Given the expense of rebuilding the royal
How much
fleet,
can the Crown afford?
with winter coming, half what they ask? Less?
You're the master of coin. How do we pay them?
House Tyrell could front the gold and the Crown would pay us back in time, or I'd have words with my daughter.
This scene looks small, but the psychology inside it is very important. On the surface, it is about money. But underneath, it is about fear, control, and pride. Cersei is not just hearing that the crown owes money. She is hearing that the throne is weak. The Iron Bank is dangerous because it reminds rulers of one ugly truth. A crown can look powerful and still be dependent on other people. Cersei hates that feeling. She wants power to feel complete, clean, and unquestioned.
You're the master of coin. How do we pay them?
So the moment this debt enters the room, it is not only a financial issue for her. It becomes an emotional threat. It tells her that even with the crown on her son's head, she still cannot control everything. This question sounds practical, but psychologically, it is bigger than that. When a person asks this kind of question in a calm voice, sometimes they are not searching for truth. Sometimes they are searching for a way to reduce panic. Cersei already knows the answer will be bad. She knows the kingdom is stretched, the fleet is being rebuilt, and the crown is carrying too much weight. But she does not want to sit in that weakness for long. This is what Cersei often does. She looks at danger just long enough to understand it, and then she quickly turns away from the part that makes her feel exposed. Her mind is always moving from problem to control. She is not someone who lives in helplessness. She cannot bear it.
House Tyrell could front the gold and the crown would pay us back in time.
This is the moment that reveals the heart of the scene. Mace offers help, but for Cersei, help is never just help. Help creates connection. Connection creates dependency. Dependency creates humiliation. This is why Cersei does not respond like a ruler who is simply trying to fix a problem. She responds like someone protecting her pride. If the Tyrells save the crown, then the crown becomes weaker in another way. It would mean the throne survives because another family is carrying it. And Cersei does not want a stable kingdom if that stability makes the Tyrells more important. She would rather keep control over a damaged system than accept rescue from people she does not trust. That is a very Cersei kind of decision. She often chooses emotional control over strategic safety.
No, we must arrange better terms with the Iron Bank. We must send an envoy to the Iron Bank, someone of importance, to show these bankers our respect.
This line sounds smart, but it also shows avoidance. Cersei is not really solving the debt. She is moving it. She is pushing it farther away. Some people handle stress by attacking it directly. Others handle stress by delaying it in a way that still feels powerful. Cersei belongs to the second type. She wants action, but only action that keeps her above the problem. So instead of saying, we must sacrifice, we must pay, we must change, she chooses a path that lets her look strong without truly facing the wound.
We are not gamblers here at the Iron Bank, Lord Tyrell.
This is why the debt becomes psychological. It is no longer about numbers. It becomes an example of how Cersei manages reality itself. She does not like realities she cannot dominate, so she reshapes them into political theater. This is where manipulation becomes elegant. Cersei does not just reject the Tyrell offer. She turns the moment into a test of status. She makes the mission sound honorable, respectful, and grand. But really, she is removing Mace from King's Landing while also using him as a shield.
He's ordered Sumerian to personally lead your escort.
This is classic Cersei psychology. She often hides aggression inside formality. She smiles while rearranging the board. She speaks the language of duty while serving her own emotional goals. That is why this scene matters. It shows that Cersei does not ignore the debt because she is careless. She ignores it in a deeper sense because she converts a money crisis into a power game. Once she does that, winning the room matters more to her than fixing the kingdom.
We must send an envoy to the Iron Bank, someone of importance, to show these bankers our respect. As the King's Master of Coin, I can think of no one more qualified.
This sounds like praise, but it is really controlled placement. Cersei knows how to make people feel chosen when she is actually positioning them for her own safety. That is one of her strongest traits. She understands insecurity because she lives with so much of it herself. She knows what people want to hear. Mace wants respect. He wants to feel important, so she gives him exactly that feeling. But the deeper truth is that she is solving two emotional problems at once: First, she avoids giving the Tyrells too much direct influence over the crown's finances. And second, she clears space around herself in King's Landing. This is not financial wisdom. This is defensive psychology wearing royal clothing.
The king's expressed concern about his father-in-law's safety on this voyage. He's ordered Sir Meryn to personally lead your escort.
This part is even more revealing because she adds Sir Meryn as protection. On the surface, this looks like care. In reality, it feels like control layered on top of control. Cersei does not trust open systems. She trusts pressure, watchers, guards, and people she can use. Even in diplomacy, her instinct is not openness. It is containment. She wants every mission tied to her influence. The reason she keeps acting like this is because her mind has been shaped by loss, rivalry, prophecy, and fear of replacement. She does not just want the crown to survive. She wants to remain the center of every important movement around it. That need makes her very sharp, but it also makes her blind. She mistakes management for mastery.
No, we must arrange better terms with the Iron Bank.
Absolutely.
That final feeling in the room says a lot. Once Mace is sent away, the council is not stronger. It is simply more controlled by Cersei. This is the key psychological mistake. She believes reducing other people gives her more power. Sometimes that is true in the short term, but over time, it weakens the system around her. Cersei often confuses silence with stability. If no one challenges her, she feels secure. But quiet rooms can hide collapsing walls. By keeping help at a distance and turning allies into pieces, she creates the kind of leadership style that looks firm from the outside and fragile from the inside. The debt is still there. The weakness is still there. Only the conversation has changed.
On behalf of the Iron Bank, may I be the first to welcome you to the free city of Bravos.
Now the problem has been pushed across the sea. When we move to the Bravos follow-up, the psychology becomes even clearer. Cersei is no longer in the frame, but her decision is. This is what emotional avoidance often looks like in politics. The ruler sends the discomfort elsewhere. The stress leaves the room, but it does not disappear. It simply travels. Mace arrives in Bravos trying to look important, trying to make the mission feel larger than it is. There is something almost awkward about it, and that awkwardness matters. It shows the gap between the crown's image and its actual condition. The Iron Throne wants to appear grand, but debt strips away fantasy. Money has a cruel way of making power speak honestly. They do not care about royal pride. This is why the Iron Bank is such a powerful symbol in the story. Armies can be frightened, courtiers can be charmed, rivals can be threatened. But institutions like the Iron Bank are cold. They care about repayment, leverage, and reliability. Cersei cannot intimidate them with family name, royal image, or sharp words whispered in a council chamber. And that is exactly why this debt bothers her so much. It represents a world she cannot emotionally dominate. She is brilliant at reading people, but systems are harder for her. A bank does not crave affection. It does not fear insult. It does not need her approval. In a strange way, that makes it one of the purest threats she faces. Cersei did not ignore the debt because it was small. She ignored it because dealing with it honestly would force her to accept weakness, compromise, and dependence. And those are three things Cersei hates more than almost anything. She would rather manage appearances than confess vulnerability. She would rather delay than bow. She would rather play politics with the problem than let the problem humble her. This is why the scene is so rich psychologically. The debt is not just unpaid money, it is a mirror. And in that mirror, Cersei sees something she cannot stand, a ruler who needs others. So she turns away from the mirror, dresses the crisis in ceremony, and sends it out of sight. This is why Cersei's rule feels strong and weak at the same time. She is never passive. She is never asleep. She is always plotting, always moving, always trying to stay one step ahead. But many of her moves are built around protecting her ego, not protecting the realm. That is what makes her fascinating. She is not foolish in a simple way. She is emotionally intelligent, politically alert, and deeply wounded. But those wounds distort her decisions. She can spot betrayal very quickly, yet she struggles to accept help. She can sense danger, yet she often answers that danger with control instead of correction. So when she pushes away the debt problem, she is really doing what she always does, choosing power that feels good in the moment over stability that would save her later. And that is the real reason Cersei Lannister ignored the Iron Bank debt. It was never just about gold. It was about pride, fear, and the need to stay in control, even when control was already slipping away. If you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe to Mad for Crown, because this channel goes deeper than plot and looks at the hidden psychology inside every scene. And tell me in the comments, was Cersei protecting the throne here, or was she really protecting her own pride?